Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Greetings, fellow mortals. Just a reminder, saying it's just my opinion is for cowards. Let the hate roll over you, friends. I love Avatar the Last Airbender. It is one of my favorite television shows ever. I have rewatched every single episode multiple times. I adore the characters, the setting, and the story. Is it perfect? No, but no story is flawless. The key to storytelling is to make the flaws work to emphasize the human experience, and Avatar did that flawlessly, which is why I am very worried about the Netflix live-action remake. If there is any animated show in existence that 100% does not need a live-action adaptation, it would be BoJack Horseman. But Avatar is a close second, especially after how terrible the live-action movie was. Just irredeemably bad. No one even likes that film, ironically. But there were a few things about the new show that caught my interest. The actors really look like their characters, for the most part, but that's fine. It's the performances that really matter. At the same time, Netflix has a shaky track record with live-action adaptations. Will this be Death Note or One Piece? Will this be Cowboy Bebop or Yu Yu Hakusho? Only time will tell, and if it does suck, well...
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
But I am willing to give the show a chance. Unfortunately, I have heard the worst news conceivable. They're taking away character development. Instead of starting out as sexist and learning how stupid that is, Sokka will already just be fully mature at the start of the show, and that is terrible. And no, straw man, I'm not saying sexism is good. Obviously it is not. But are we really going to sit here and say that Avatar the Last Airbender is sexist? Sokka literally had it beaten out of him by badass Kyoshi warriors in episode 3. Katara, Toph, Azula, Mai, Ty Lee, and Suki exist in the show. They kick all kinds of ass. Here, let me read this for you. We took out the element of how sexist Sokka was. I feel like there were a lot of moments in the original show that were iffy. Yeah, totally. There are things that were redirected just because it might play a little differently in live action. Yep, an early 2000s Nickelodeon cartoon was too edgy for the showrunners. Perfect, just great. This doesn't make me want to pull my hair out at all.
I'm fighting for my life! Y'all killing me with this!
Character development is important in a story. It's an essential part of Avatar the Last Airbender, and most of Sokka's arc was him maturing throughout Season 1. He learns what it means to fight, to be a man, and to be a warrior. And his sexism is actually an important part of his character, and it's actually important to the lore. Let me explain. 1, it foreshadows the sexism in the North Pole, which is a big deal for Aang and Katara's arc at the end of the season. And 2, it builds on the facts that his mother dying and his father leaving for war really messed Sokka up. He was suddenly told that he had to be the man, the warrior, the protector, without any training whatsoever. He also didn't have his father and mother around to whip the nonsense out of his head. Weird things tend to happen in kids' heads when they're traumatized. There's a solid chance that his sadness at losing his mother led to a coping mechanism where he became overprotective of women, to the point where he wrongly looked down on them, and he learned how wrong he was as he traveled the world. It's important because we see him grow and appreciate what he's gone through. He went from a complete moron to a great leader and a swordsman who just so happens to be a little bit of a moron still.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I love Sokka and his arc, and it kills me that main characters aren't allowed to be flawed or wrong anymore, that we can't show them the lesson. Maybe I feel more passionately about this because I did something similar in my novel. My character Pearl had to learn not to be speciesist against magical creatures, because they were people who loved and struggled too. Does writing her this way make me a bad person? Does how the original creators made Sokka make them bad people? No, obviously not. They were trying to make a point about how stupid sexism is, instead of just trying to brush it under the rug and act like it doesn't exist. I'm not going to lie to you. This news makes me a little bit more wary about this adaptation. What is even going to happen on Kyoshi Island? Are they just going to cut out that part of the story? Is Suki not going to exist? Are we not going to see Sokka lower his head and admit that he was wrong and ask for training? I want to see that part. It's very important to who Sokka becomes, and removing the process of Sokka humbling himself makes the story of Avatar the Last Airbender worse. So let Sokka be sexist so that you can literally suplex it out of him. This is not hard, people. This is basic writing 101. Go take a free class on it. It's not that hard. You're welcome to disagree with all this. That's fine. After all, everyone is entitled to their objectively wrong opinion.
Stupid is, stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
I guess.
Hey, do you like stories about an interconnected world? Then consider giving my LP Shield books a try. They are all connected in some way, but you can jump in at any point, unless it's a series. Then you have to start at the beginning. But I got 3 books out right now and 3 coming next year. You will not have to wait long for content. Either way, thank you. I appreciate you. Do not despair.